Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Where to start? So I'll introduce myself first. Keith Harrington. I am the regional chair for PwC in the Southeast. I lead our practice from East Anglia right the way down to the South Coast. All of our lines of service, as we call them. And the reason that I was so keen to be here today, to come and speak about the role of business in taking this forward, is because as I've looked at this, it's the single most exciting project that we as a firm can see making a real difference. I'll talk a little bit about a little later about how we've changed our strategy as a result. And hopefully that will give you some thoughts as to how you can get involved and what it might mean for you. I'm actually, though, quite a new resident of the southeast of the UK. Until last winter, I was the senior partner of our firm in the Middle East. What attracted me to the southeast, of course, is the fact that its brand globally, yes, through Oxford and Cambridge institutions, but actually much more than that, is very strong. So when I arrive and find a project, and by the way, I'm going to use the word arc, corridor, heartland. I think we need a name that we can all rally behind, and let's be clear that when I say those three things, it means the same thing, okay? When I saw the corridor or the arc proposal, it struck me that it had not only relevance to our region, but also relevance to the UK, something that would resonate, therefore, in Whitehall, and would have relevance to the global economy. It would put us on the map. I think the UK needs something of this scale. I think it should be a proof of concept to prove that the UK can still do complex, creative things which bring together economy and productivity, housing and the environment, place and communities. It's what we believe the National Industrial Strategy was effectively designed to stimulate. I know from my own experience abroad that this is one of the main areas outside London that has real global reach. Yes, educational institutions, but also it is well known for the beauty of the place, the strength of local assets, just like where we are today in Silverstone. It's obviously the home to an iconic global sport and a place that has unleashed a wave of technology and motor industry spinouts. As a firm, we work with many of these. It's part of our business. Those industries are world-leading. They are on the global stage. But of course, it's not just here in this part of the corridor. Each individual part of the arc has world-leading businesses. Each bit brings something to the whole. And the proposition of all of this is that the sum of the parts creates a multiplier effect. The theme for me, though, that I've taken from the interactions I've had so far and what I've seen with businesses across the region so far is innovation. The capacity, the skills, the ability to drive innovation going forwards. I think this could be, and maybe is already, but could certainly be known even better for being the place that innovation is driven from within the UK. Now, whilst I'm a relative newcomer, I think you probably have known that for many years, and that this represents a golden opportunity. I think that momentum is building quickly around it. And actually, I think we have the National Infrastructure Commission to thank for all of their work for raising the profile of what might be achieved, both in policy and industry circles. Their work, for me, highlighted the scale of the opportunity. By 2050, the NIC think we could triple the size of the arc's economy. But there's a big if within that, and that is if we put in place the right enabling infrastructure. We put in place the right policies and other building blocks to enable innovation and businesses to grow, and we put in place the right arrangements for communities to thrive. At PwC, we think the focus now needs to be on making this happen. Events in Whitehall with such a strong focus on the UK's industrial strategy, we think provide the perfect foundation to launch a real focus on implementation. Jeremy, I agree with what you just said. Now is the time. I gather, though, that this project has been talked about for quite a number of years. Many reports have been written. I've done some research. They go back quite a period. And I think, though, from our dealings, and our own view, but our dealings with clients, everyone intuitively gets the scale of the opportunity. The key now is that we deliver against those ambitions. To make this happen, we will need innovative social and economic policies, and the art will not succeed if it's just thought of as an economic or a housing or a traditional infrastructure project. It is about those things, of course it is, and I think you've covered a lot of that this morning as well. But it's much more, and if we get it right, I think the benefits will be felt to the whole UK economy, and therefore we should have, and I believe will have, it will be interesting to see what the Minister says, the attention of central government for making this happen. One of the things I've been asked to cover is what are we hearing in the business world, and we work with a huge range of clients. As business understands more about the arc, the corridor, they are looking for something different, actually. I think they're pinning some hopes that instead of being transactional in the way they think about their business, they might actually be able to take some decisions that are more sophisticated. And bringing it right back to our business, they're talking to us about auditors like me. That's my day job. I'm an audit partner. Auditors who can also, in the same breath, help them with their environmental impact. Tax specialists who can play a role in sorting out fair pay and ensuring pensions are delivered to everyone. Consultants who get the fact that traveling on the M1 or M40 or A34 or A40 or A14 is hampering their local growth as much as anything else. It's this broader, holistic view that I think we need to take. What I want to do is to try and get across a sense of what we're hearing on the ground from SMEs, family businesses, the public sector, as well as larger corporates. Whatever their ownership structure, whether they are already inbound investors or whether they are homegrown industries looking to export. And we have 3 offices that span the corridor region, as it is at the moment. When I started back here at the beginning of this calendar year, our firm was organized by office in this region. I replaced someone who had this job, and we were doing well. We're doing very well. But what I changed, what I saw, was that the power of offices clustering together within our firm significantly multiplied our ability to be successful. You could see why, therefore, I like this concept. It makes sense from a business perspective to take the best of all of it for the benefit of the whole. To state the obvious, it's no surprise that as we talk to clients, infrastructure connectivity is by far top of the list. It's welcomed, but what they're really talking about with that is not the concepts of rail links going east-west, things like that. What they're talking about there is getting on with it. Who is going to make it happen? Where will the money come from to make it happen? Who's taking responsibility? What is the role of business? What is the role of central government? And how much will have to come from local government and others locally? That's what they're saying. When you talk to them about the economy and particularly productivity, those are areas that business are really very interested in. It goes to the heart of their competitiveness and goes to the heart of the decisions that they are taking. And when you talk about the NIC's report and the scale of growth that might come from this if we get it right, actually that gets their attention too. To be part of a faster, let's say fastest growing part of the UK, gives them cause for optimism. That said, I'm going to say none. I haven't yet found a business that has clearly said to me that they are investing because of the potential of the Ark. Yeah, just because of that extra. And I think that's where it needs to evolve towards. I think that's yet, though. I think it will come. When we talk about housing as a subset of this to our clients, that is also a topic that is very welcomed. I think we're aware of the various pressures. But the conversations are always caveated with concerns about the environment and certain place-based concerns. Overall, people get that the corridor could be a place that does something different, and we sense they're up for experimenting, at least at a certain scale. Just as this is the region that cultivated Milton Keynes all those years ago, there's plenty, we believe, that can be done within it against this agenda. But what else are we hearing? So we're hearing that people also have their worries. As you embark on something like this, they're wondering how planners and planning regulation will cope. They're nervous about politics at whatever level. And could that get in the way? They're anxious that an area which has traditionally had a degree of competition within it might not join up. Is it real? Can we work together to convert the opportunities? Businesses that are looking to invest in the UK, let's give an example of a pharma or a digital health startup in the USA that we've been speaking to. They might be looking to put an innovation center somewhere in the UK. And they would want to do that because we have fabulous people. But at the moment, Oxford and Cambridge will compete to attract that particular investor. Is that the right way forward? So what are PwC doing at the moment? Well, to date, we've been providing some support to each of the parties that are coming together to put the plan into action, particularly supporting the local industrial strategies and, in particular, playing a formal advisory role for the Oxfordshire Local Enterprise Partnership. We've also been appointed to develop the economic vision for the corridor, working with all of the partners. This is a really important opportunity. It's a chance to build on the work and analysis from the NIC and others. Huge amount has been completed to date. And what we need to develop actually is a clear identity and narrative for the corridor going forwards. All of this, though, is predicated on a clear aspiration, I'll repeat it, that the sum of the regions working together is greater than what any single area could achieve on its own. The economic vision will go to the heart of telling the story at both a regional and industrial level of what can be achieved. To the family business looking to expand and export, to the medium-sized business looking to raise new capital and grow rapidly, to the global enterprise looking for opportunities to invest in innovation. Our collective goal with the economic vision is to create a clear, consistent, compelling message which puts the Ark in the frame for every one of those business decisions. It seems to us that the direction of travel within Whitehall is towards devolution, transforming and reimagining local government and decentralizing as much as is sensible to do. If the Ark is going to happen, it must be driven locally, in my view. That said, it's not to say that central government doesn't have a part to play, and clarity around policy, clarity around funding sources, and clarity around how they will be deployed is needed, and I sense needed soon. But we need to take the lead. So as we've sought to invest in a different way within our firm in the Southeast, so I have to admit it's got the attention of our UK board. I have been invited several times already to come and explain the strength of the Southeast practice and to secure additional investment funding behind it. And our board has backed me and the team in the Southeast to deliver that. Our next focus, after the work that we're doing, or as part of the work that we're doing for the economic vision, is to work with our LEP colleagues, the local and unitary authorities, and others to stand up a business advocacy group to champion the economic opportunities which the Arc represents. You probably can tell we're quite passionate about it within our firm and the future opportunity that it brings. I guess my request of you is please join in. The capabilities of you here within the business community and your hugely successful organizations are what is going to make the difference. It's going to take all of us, all of the ideas, to turbocharge the delivery of the corridor. So as we listen to the speakers this afternoon, please do reflect on what you and your organizations can do. So much is good, actually so much is great about all of the parts of the region that we're talking about. Yeah? I mean, there's so many good things. But we have a choice. We can work separately, or we can work together to move even more quickly up the global innovation and growth leagues. Thank you very much.